What if I told you that your body has a hidden switch, a biological mechanism that, when activated, can slow down the aging of your cells, protect your brain, strengthen your heart, and even help your body clean out its own damaged parts, and that most people over 60 have never heard of it? Scientists have been quietly studying this switch for decades. Nobel Prize-winning research has pointed directly toward it. And right now, in laboratories from Tokyo to Vienna, researchers are calling it one of the most exciting discoveries in the biology of aging. But here's what makes this truly remarkable. You don't need a prescription. You don't need an expensive supplement. You just need to know which foods to put on your plate. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome. This channel is dedicated entirely to helping people over 60 live longer, feel stronger, and age with dignity and joy. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell because every single week we bring you science-backed, doctor-reviewed content designed just for you. Now, let's talk about the molecule. There's a compound inside your body right now called spermidine. Strange name, I know, but don't let that throw you off because what this molecule does is nothing short of extraordinary. Spermidine was first discovered in the 1600s, but it wasn't until recent decades that researchers began to truly understand its power. Here's the simple version. Spermidine is one of the most potent natural activators of a process called autophagy. And autophagy, which comes from the Greek words meaning self-eating, is your body's built-in cellular housekeeping system. Think of it this way. Imagine your body's cells are like apartments. Over time, broken furniture piles up, old appliances stop working, clutter fills every corner. Now, imagine your body sends in a cleaning crew that comes through, removes all the damaged pieces, recycles what can be reused, and leaves the apartment fresh and functional. That cleaning crew is autophagy, and spermidine is what rings the doorbell and lets them in. Here's why this matters so deeply for those of us in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. As we age, autophagy slows down dramatically. The cleaning crew comes less often. Damaged proteins begin to accumulate inside our cells. And that cellular clutter? Scientists believe it plays a direct role in diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease, and certain cancers. In 2016, the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine was awarded specifically for the discovery of the mechanisms of autophagy. That's how significant this process is. And spermidine is its most powerful natural trigger. Research published in the journal Nature Medicine showed that higher dietary spermidine intake was associated with a significant reduction in cardiovascular mortality. A study out of the University of Graz in Austria tracked thousands of people over years and found that those who consumed more spermidine through food lived measurably longer. In animal studies, when spermidine was added to the diet, lifespan extended by up to 25%. Now, we're not mice, but these findings are creating enormous excitement in the scientific community. So how do we get more of it? That brings us to our countdown. I'm going to take you through 10 specific foods ranked from lowest to highest spermidine concentration and tell you exactly how to use each one in your daily life. Let's begin. Coming in at number 10 is the humble hazelnut, delivering about 2.1 milligrams of spermidine per 100 grams. These little nuts are easy to add to oatmeal, yogurt, or a handful as an afternoon snack. They're also rich in vitamin E and healthy fats that support brain health. For older adults who may have difficulty chewing harder nuts like almonds, hazelnuts are softer, gentler, and equally satisfying. A small handful, 3 or 4 times per week, is a wonderful start. At number 9, we have broccoli and its cruciferous cousins, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage, clocking in at around 2.5 milligrams per 100 grams. Now, you may have heard for years that broccoli is good for you, but the spermidine connection gives that old advice a whole new dimension. These vegetables are also loaded with sulforaphane, a compound that has its own powerful anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer properties. Steam them lightly to preserve nutrients, or roast them with a little olive oil and garlic for a side dish that practically heals while you eat it. Number 8 brings us to a fruit that many people are surprised to see on a longevity list, the mango, at 3.0 milligrams per 100 grams. Ripe mangoes are not only delicious, but easy to eat easy to digest, and loaded with vitamin C and beta-carotene. For those managing blood sugar, a small portion, about half a cup, enjoyed with a protein source can keep glucose levels stable while still delivering that spermidine benefit. Frozen mango is just as nutritious as fresh and far more affordable year-round. At number 7, we have beef, delivering approximately 3.7 milligrams per 100 grams. But here is the important caveat I want you to hear clearly. Not all beef is equal, and quantity matters. Lean cuts, think sirloin, eye of round, or extra lean ground beef, consumed in moderate portions of 3 to 4 ounces, 2 to 3 times per week, provide spermidine along with high-quality, complete protein that older adults need to maintain muscle mass. However, processed beef, hot dogs, sausages, heavily cured meats should be limited as the preservation chemicals offset many of the benefits. Choose quality over quantity here. Coming in at number 6 is chicken liver at 4.8 milligrams per 100 grams. I know organ meats have fallen out of fashion, but our grandparents were onto something. Chicken liver is extraordinarily nutrient-dense, delivering not just spermidine, but also iron, vitamin B12, folate, and zinc, nutrients that many older adults are quietly deficient in without realizing it. Deficiency in B12 alone is linked to memory problems, fatigue, and nerve damage. A small serving of chicken liver once or twice a week, sautéed with onions and a touch of olive oil, is an old-fashioned remedy with very modern scientific backing. Now we're entering the upper tier of our list, and the numbers begin to climb noticeably. At number 5, green peas deliver a remarkable 6.5 milligrams per 100 grams. Frozen green peas are one of the underrated pantry staples in existence. They are inexpensive, require zero preparation, and can be stirred into soups, pasta dishes, rice, or eaten as a simple side. They're also rich in plant-based protein and fiber, both essential for heart health and digestive wellness in older adults. Number 4 brings us to mushrooms at approximately 8.8 milligrams per 100 grams. And this is where the list starts to become truly exciting. Mushrooms are a longevity superfood in their own right. Beyond spermidine, varieties like shiitake, maitake, and oyster mushrooms contain beta-glucans, compounds that actively support immune function. For older adults whose immune systems naturally become less efficient with age, mushrooms are one of nature's most accessible immune boosters. Sauté them, add them to omelets, soups, or stir-fries. Aim for at least 3 servings per week. At number 3, aged cheese and cheddar take the podium with up to 20 milligrams of spermidine per 100 grams. The aging process in cheese dramatically increases spermidine content. The longer the cheese is aged, the higher the concentration. Sharp cheddar, aged Gouda, Parmesan, and Manchego are all excellent choices. Now, cheese also contains saturated fat and sodium, so moderation is key. A 1-ounce serving, roughly the size of a pair of dice, is the ideal daily portion. And here's something delightful. A small cheese board with crackers and fruit isn't just a pleasure, it's medicine. Number 2 on our countdown is soybeans and fermented soy products at 20.7 milligrams per 100 grams. This includes whole soybeans, edamame, tempeh, miso, and natto, a traditional Japanese fermented soybean dish that is literally one of the most studied longevity foods in the world. Japan's Okinawa region, home to one of the highest concentrations of centenarians on Earth, has a diet deeply rooted in soy. Miso soup alone, consumed daily, provides a meaningful spermidine dose alongside beneficial probiotics for gut health. If you've never tried edamame, it is mild, easy to prepare, and wonderfully versatile. Tempeh can be sliced and pan-fried as a satisfying protein replacement for meat. And now, the gold medal. Number 1 on our list and the single richest dietary source of spermidine known to science, wheat germ, delivering an astonishing 24.3 milligrams per 100 grams.
Wheat germ is the nutrient-dense embryo of the wheat kernel, the part that actually sprouts into a new plant. It's removed during the refining process that produces white flour, which is one of the great nutritional tragedies of the modern food supply. But you can buy wheat germs separately, toasted or raw in most grocery stores, often right next to the oatmeal. It has a mild, slightly nutty flavor and can be stirred into yogurt, sprinkled over cereal, blended into smoothies, or added to baked goods. 2 tablespoons a day gives you a meaningful spermidine boost that no other single food can match. Now, how do we put all of this together into a real, livable weekly plan? Think of it as building your spermidine protocol in layers. Each morning, stir 2 tablespoons of wheat germ into your oatmeal or yogurt. That one habit alone is transformational. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, make mushrooms part of your main meal, sautéed as a side, added to soup, or tossed into scrambled eggs. On Tuesday and Thursday, incorporate green peas or edamame into lunch. Once or twice a week, enjoy a 1-ounce serving of aged cheddar or parmesan. Let mango or frozen mango slices replace processed sweet snacks on 2 or 3 days. Include broccoli or cruciferous vegetables at least 3 times weekly. Lightly steamed keeps the most nutrients intact. Once a week, enjoy a moderate portion of lean beef or a small
serving of chicken liver for that deeper nutrient density. This isn't a restrictive diet. There's no counting calories, no eliminating foods you love. It's simply a matter of layering in these specific, scientifically validated foods regularly enough that your spermidine levels rise, and that cellular cleaning crew gets called in more often. One last thing before you go, and I want you to hold on to this thought. Science is now telling us something that goes against everything we were once taught about aging. Aging is not simply decline. Much of what we call aging, the cognitive slowdown, the fatigue, the inflammation, the increased disease risk, is, at least in part, a result of cellular processes that we have more influence over than we ever realized. Spermidine is one key. Autophagy is one mechanism, and the foods on this list are your most accessible, most affordable, most delicious tools. You don't have to accept that getting older means feeling worse. The science says otherwise, and this channel will keep bringing you that science, clearly, practically, and always with you in mind. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps more people find this information who need it. Share it with someone you care about, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. You deserve to thrive.